Wow, that was loud. Here. Got to schedule one, but I can do it 3 weeks because my barber needs it 3 weeks.
You go down to the one here in Wellington.
I go down and see Edwin down on Main Street in Willimantic, and there's a large number of very young Black and Hispanic males that go there, and I'm the only one out of the age range and out of the ethnic range, and I have a blast because I make them all talk to me. They're very uncomfortable about it, but I love it.
That's great.
The way they bust on each other about football teams, it's just freaking hilarious. They all root for different teams, and boy,
I wouldn't know that. I'm a solitary guy. I go in that.
right. My dad used to do that. He used to talk to strangers all the time.
The way you learn.
So now yeah, that's right.
Get different perspectives.
What a great bunch of guys. All right. We're gonna proceed. Calling to order a special meeting of the Board of Selectmen for November 26, 2024. It is now 9:33 a.m. We only have 3 items. Item 2, new business. Call for town meeting. I move that the town of Wellington notice and warning of town meeting. The electors of the town of Wellington and all persons who are entitled to vote in town meeting on the matters mentioned in the following warning are hereby warned and notified to meet at the Old Town Hall at 11 Common Road in Wellington on Tuesday, December 17th, 2024 at 7 p.m. for the following purposes. Item 1, to see if the townspeople, on the recommendation of the Board of Finance, will authorize the appropriation of up to $42,000 from the Open Space Fund to use for the purchase of the Pettix property located on Burma Road and associated costs, including legal services and property remediation, so that the property can be added to the Fenton Ruby Park and used for public recreation and a wildlife habitat. Item 2, to see if the townspeople, on the recommendation of the Board of Finance, will authorize the appropriation of an additional $60,000 from the Emergency Services Reserve Fund to cover the increase in cost of the lease purchase of a new ambulance for Wellington Fire Department number 1. Item 3, to see if the townspeople, on the recommendation of the Board of Finance, will authorize the appropriation of $40,000 from the reserve fund to account number 04, is that point or dash? Point 4054 for the purpose of contracting with Fitch Association for a location study for the Emergency Services Facilities Building Committee. Dated at Wellington, this 26th day of November, 2024. Do I have the Wellington Board of Selectmen? Do I have a second so we can begin discussion?
Second for discussion.
For discussion.
So there's 3 items. One is open space, $42,000 for Pettix.
Yeah.
That was submitted. We talked about it briefly at our last meeting. As I was just speaking, I think this is well done. All the i's are dotted, all the t's are crossed. Looks good. My only question prior to this meeting was about the dams that are, or earthen dams that are on the property, and those don't seem to be an issue at all. So I'm good with that. The second one was the Emergency Services Reserve Fund for $60,000 for.
Wait, before we start on that, would you like to speak? Do you have anything to say, or?
I just wanted to say that the Conservation Commission, really endorses this. We feel it's a priority piece to add to the Fenton Park, and also Carl Asimovich, who's our town engineer who did the dam studies here, if you have any questions about the dams.
Thanks, thank you for coming, Carl, appreciate it. So I looked at the pictures and we were talking during our last meeting. It doesn't appear that there's a lot of water behind them. They're little pretty small ponds.
They're small ponds, and the upper one especially is fairly shallow. And it has a bypass of the lower pond.
Okay,
And the drainage area is only about, I believe, 15 acres. So you're not going to get any really substantial storm flow coming out of that area, during the storm event. The only thing is, as dams go, they're in poor shape because they're earth embankments, and earth embankments don't like to have trees on them, and they're naturally covered with trees.
got it.
So we gave three options. One was to just do nothing and let them slowly deteriorate. And the lower dam is the most serious situation because it has large trees on it. And if that should, if a tree should go over during a storm event and it's saturated soil underneath, then it'll take a chunk out of the embankment.
So if it does, let's say the worst possible thing happens and there is an issue,
What would happen?
the adjoining property owners, would they be in any danger of?
The only danger would be to an old section of Amadon Road that heads over into Ashford, and it's unused.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought that was.
That's an
Yeah,
abandoned road, isn't it?
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be the only thing. So it's not a real infrastructure that would be damaged, if that should fail.
There's no legal problems with washing out an abandoned road, is there?
Not to my knowledge.
It's in Wellington,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that portion.
Yeah, and so the only thing would be that it's a time of failure. Sometimes dams fail suddenly.
Right,
Other times it takes a long time to erode the materials. So the worst thing that could happen there is not necessarily the amount of water that would go down, but the quality of the water. It would take some soil, obviously, and brush and tree stumps with it that would probably plug up the old Amadon Road area
right.
at worst,
And
yeah.
that's option one. Option two is,
Option two is to clean up the dams a little bit
okay,
and do some basic repairs. And then the third option would be to do some full repairs. But in terms of basic repairs, we would say cut the larger trees and get the brush off the dams. And thereby extending their life a little bit because you don't have anything that'll come down in a severe storm situation.
Is
And
there any advantage to leaving the dams? I mean, if we just, I know that a lot of environmentalists are saying just get rid of dams if they're not necessary. Could we just get rid of them and slowly and in a
And breach
controlled
them?
way and breach them?
sure,
You could.
All right.
yeah, and in fact, that's the first option is to just let it
Let it
go
deteriorate.
naturally. And eventually it will, because one of the trees will come down and take a chunk of the embankment with it. And then most likely in these situations, no one will know about it until somebody walks the trail a few days later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kim will know about it.
Yeah.
And I mean, we do have, talk to Troy, we have to remove, there's a small little camp there that we're gonna remove, that's part of the remediation and filling in the well. But we talked about cutting the larger trees off the dam, and he said that would not be a problem, he could get equipment up there to do that and get it done within a week.
The second portion of this, I guess, is $60,000 for emergency service reserve fund for I'm sorry, we were.
Yes.
Going down?
Yes, I am.
All right,
I'm
so
sorry.
$60,000 emergency reserve fund for ambulance. Now that's an addition, so we're adding money to something that already exists to buy something. I listened to the Board of Finance meeting and it appeared to be a new chassis or something like that,
So
which one are we replacing? We're replacing the truck underneath the chassis?
we're
or
replacing
chassis
the
on top of
truck, we're replacing the chassis underneath the
Okay.
box.
All right,
The part that the people ride in, the
Right.
patients are in, that's staying. The truck part is being replaced. And so I have a question on should this say lease purchase of a refurbished ambulance instead of new ambulance on a town meeting call?
good, that's a good add.
That's a good point.
Alex?
It's considered a new truck, so it'll come back new VIN numbers. It's considered a brand new truck.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
That solves my concern completely.
Again, it was hard for me to stay engaged because I was doing it while I was at work, but, $60,000 for the new under part of the truck
Right,
That's gonna last a long time, a long, no,
should last at least 5 years.
yeah, and then, so that part on the top, there's nothing, I heard that there was nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they're refurbishing that to new, so that should last at least as long as well.
Is this the first ambulance or the second ambulance?
This is the first ambulance. This is the original.
No other questions?
As far, that's correct, right, Alex? It's the red one?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
And then, the third thing is pitch location study, so that's the regulatory requirement for initiating, a plan,
Right.
to locate, fire stations before you can actually do.
right, and I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, but I don't think the study tells you must build here. They said the 100% or the 80% best spot to build is here. There is no 100% best spot to build a building, but the 80% best spots here, the 75% best spots here, the 60% best spots here. They give you the rundown of all your spots and why they're better or worse, or where their calls are, and all kinds of stuff, so it should. The amount of information we get out of this should give us a much better idea of what we're doing to the facilities committee. And what we're looking for, I think, this is all on me, is that we're looking for a nonpartisan look at the problems, so that we can go to the town and we don't look like we've got people looking only for their best interest and not for the interest of anybody else. So this is the nonpartisan way of doing it. There's a better word than nonpartisan. There's a
Disinterested.
disinterested, yes. Thank you.
Nonpartisan works too, it's okay.
All right. So, any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. That gets that out of the way. How's Kathy to sleep?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carl.
Yep, take care.
I need two. And I've lost my. Oh, on the back of this. No. What'd I do with my agenda? It was here someplace. Found it.
There you go. Good job.
Let's flip B and C if you don't mind. Can we do that with a special agenda, change the order? We're not adding anything in. No, let's not.
So,
We'll talk about the budget.
Okay.
We have Donna here with us to talk about the budget. The part I was kind of hoping Andy would be here for. So there's several budget assumption budget assumptions that we're dealing with on page 1. Our heating oil prices are going down about 17 cents a gallon. Diesel fuel prices are down about 20 cents a gallon. We have a new fixed rate of 11.24 cents per kilowatt hour, which expires in 2028. Do we know if that's up or down?
That is slightly an increase.
Slightly an increase. I'm not surprised. The dental insurance premium for our employees is a slight increase. We're not sure how much, or an increase, we don't know how much. But we really like our employees to have teeth. The medical insurance renewal is another question. Last year, we did real well because it went
Yes.
down a lot. It never goes down. It goes up a little or it goes up a lot. Those are the two general principles.
Do we know when we're gonna know that?
Usually,
We meet with the agent, first of the year. And we start, they start, working on getting pricing for us.
First of you.
We won't know until, yeah, we'll have our first meeting. In the past, we've had our first meeting right before Christmas, but we don't know final rates until probably March, February, March, we get our final rates on the premiums.
What, do you know what that dollar amount is now? Well,
I know.
okay.
I-
There's a lot of acronyms on the next one.
Yeah.
WC and LAP entering first year CIRMA's 3-year budget stabilization program.
What's a WC?
Workers' comp insurance,
All right.
and LAP is the liability, auto and property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the town insurance.
Right.
Workers' comp and liability.
Karma is the insurance company used by municipalities in Connecticut. It's a consortium of, I think, it has 169 towns, I think 167 are involved in Karma.
Got it.
2 of them got really mad at Karma and left for whatever reason.
Right,
IT is gonna go up. That's a 53% increase?
Oh, no, that's how we split the cost.
Oh,
between
okay.
town and board. So this is just a note about the shared services with the Board of Education.
All right. We also share heating oil, diesel,
Yes,
electricity and copiers with them.
yes.
Is that a 50-50 split or?
Everybody pays for their own. We just, when we go out to get
Okay.
prices, include.
We do it,
For volume discount.
all right. And we do our insurance with them
Yes,
to improve the capacity.
yes.
Mowing and trimming, 2-year contract. The town pays 94% and the schools pay 6%. And that covers all the school grounds, correct?
Yes.
And plowing?
so mowing and trimming 2-year contract out of bid by PR.
Park and Rec.
Okay,
Jimmy puts it out to bid.
oh, I see, okay.
Yeah.
We pay 94% and the board of selectmen of the town is part of the budget is 94%, between 6%.
Correct. Is that because we have River Road?
River
And-
Road, the park, Ruby, Huntington Ruby.
And-
Behind the town office building,
Yeah.
ballpark.
And they have the 2 schools with their associated playing fields.
Got
Telephone service. School pays for outgoing lines, the town pays for incoming lines. On a note on that, this is a personal thing, I am very unhappy with the phone service. And it's costing us a lot of money. And there is a $4,000 minimum upgrade coming that's required. And, I have Novus looking into, from what I understand about phones, and it's minimal, granted. Phones work on 3 different systems, what they call the POTS line, plain old telephone. It's the old, what we had in the 50s and 60s. Then there's the PBX phones where there's a certain number of lines that go into like a big computer that you have that spread them, that distribute them as they come in to different places. And then everything that goes out goes back through the computer to be shot out on an outside line.
Yeah.
And then there's, voice over IP. And, where everybody's got their own phone and I'm not sure what the interconnectivity among,
They all work.
they should all work together. There's a number of small business companies that are putting systems together for people just like us.
Yeah.
So I'm having Novus look into that see if there's any, long-term savings and, service improvement.
Okay, good.
That covers page one.
Any consortiums that have volume purchasing, similar to the electricity, municipal organizations in Auckland?
I don't know, there might be, and that's one of the things I'm having Novus look into, my skills of researching that aren't up to where they should be,
Okay.
so I'm getting somebody better than me to do it.
These are our assumptions moving in, right?
These are, yeah, the page one is the assumptions from Donna.
And then, so the top lines up here, can you explain what those are, Donna? The first one, 24-25 general government approved budget. 24-25, that's the one we're in now, right? And then 25-26 government proposed budget.
I'm just like setting up a template, and when we'll know the number, when everybody's
When-
information is received.
Oh, I see.
No,
Those are fill in the block
Yeah, it's fill in
numbers,
the
those are
block.
hold,
Yeah.
placeholders.
Spaceholders, that's what it is.
I got it. Thank you.
So let's talk about Troy. We'd like a $20,000 increase in, tree removal service. We have had a huge die-off of trees from 2 insect infestations. The, tent caterpillars and the emerald ash borer. And, so that's line 1.
So Troy, tree service, $20,000 increase necessary to maintain safety along our roadways and town properties. And the increase is due to the number of trees dead, and he just mentioned that, and the reasons why they were happening. The 2-year contract is up for bid spring 2024-25. What does that mean? Do you want to understand that, Troy?
Troy's not on.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's Alex. You know. Okay.
Troy is out
He-
this week,
he-
unfortunately.
Can you help me understand that a little?
I believe that shouldn't be spring 2024, that should be spring 2025, correct? That the tree service,
Yeah,
because,
I mean, I'm thinking that is what
Yeah.
makes sense to me, 25.
so I'm guessing this coming spring, we signed 2-year contracts. I think right now we have Linden and, I don't know whether the number of trees you get cut per dollar is going up or down, but it seems like we have more tree cutting capability out there, more companies, so.
Is this one of the things that got cut after the referendum failed?
Yes, no, it got cut before the referendum failed.
And before the referendum, so we cut this last year.
We cut this last year. We cut the request. I don't think we cut the actual numbers. We'll be able to look at that on the following pages, I think. Is drug testing and CDL physicals are going up. I believe that there's a state mandate. It used to be that they come by and randomly choose a certain number of employees. And now they go through and test 100% of employees. So we have to test more employees.
Well, we're driving CDL.
Yeah, that's everybody down in Public Works, as far as I know. Miscellaneous supplies, I'd like to talk to Troy about that. I don't know what that means. The drinking water increase. Let's talk to him about that too. OSHA compliance, I don't think we're gonna get around that. Parts and supplies, everything is going up. Chip seal, we cut chip seal the chip seal request last year before the first referendum. Well, we didn't, Board of Finance cut the request, I'm not sure whether there was an actual cut or not. But, I know we ran out of chip seal money this year. And Donna was able to scrape some savings from other line items to get what we needed done. But we weren't, from what I understand, there's at least 3 different kinds of ways of sealing the road. Some of them are cheaper and don't last as long and aren't as efficient, and some of them are more expensive, do a better job and last longer. And we've been going with the cheap to get through, and I'm not positive that's the way we wanna go.
Yeah.
But that's the way we're going because it was cut.
So, and then road maintenance, that's another one that was cut last year. That was
Right.
after the referendum.
No, after the referendum, all we cut was, the shock absorber for the school. We cut 150K out of the shock absorber, so it went from,
Up 1 million.
1.5 million. It went from 1.5 million to 135.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, I appreciate that.
If memory serves.
So,
I always have that out that sometimes my memory isn't as good as I hope.
so for road maintenance asphalt, correct me if I'm wrong, but we didn't do much road maintenance asphalt last year.
No, we didn't. We did do. Oh, wait a minute, we did do. A couple of roads, if I remember correctly, I don't remember which ones, and I don't remember how many miles. When we come to meet again, we're gonna have, that would be a question for Troy. The Public Works Administrative Assistant right now is a 15-hour-a-week job. We'd like to make it a 20-hour-a-week job. It's because of, to manage, state grant requirements. Heather down there has been doing a really nice job on our grant requirements, except that's not part of her job description at this point. So what we'd like to do is move her to a 20-hour part-time job. Unfortunately, I believe that necessitates some other costs, because once you go 20 or more hours, then we need to offer, she's eligible for some benefits. Which I just like to add in there. And then, Troy asks for this every year, and last year I told him absolutely not, but I think they need an additional person. And if we can't find an additional person, right now they've got, I believe, 5 full-time workers and 1 2-day-a-week worker. And what I'd like to do is make that, that 2-day-a-week worker a full-time worker. Get that extra 3 days. How Troy wants to do that, I think we'd have to ask him if he can do it with the employees he has now or not. Whether some of them would be willing to step up, whether we need to find another full-time worker.
Why do we have a lack of interest in plowing? I mean, I was under the impression that.
It's because the cost of plowing is significantly higher than what we're willing to pay. Because they need to bring their own truck. It's a contract job. They bring their own truck, they provide their own fuel, they provide their own driver. And with what we're paying significantly less than what the state's paying, and the state is barely covering their cost once they're paying their drivers. So it's not just our town. It's every town and the state, except for, I believe, some of the big cities who just hire all their own trucks.
Yeah, we'll talk to Troy about it when it comes to present the budget, but I would want to see an analysis of the cost implications of adding a driver, including full benefits. And the cost to add contractor services, and raise the cost, raise the price, we're gonna pay more.
Yeah,
We'll match the state level, whatever it is.
Yeah. I know.
Then we'll look at it when we'll look at the difference between the two and see what makes sense.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I have another meeting scheduled.
Okay. Sure, and we'll start going through some of this other stuff just briefly, and then, before you go, when are we scheduled to present to the Board of Finance? As,
I have that date, but I don't have it memorized.
can you,
I'll shoot you an email.
thank you,
Yes,
can you just shoot it to the entire board,
yes,
because, thank you.
sure.
Thanks, Donna.
We schedule our people too tight. That's already. Transfer station, temporary help. The problem with that is on Sundays, we pay double time by contract. So if we lose somebody on a Sunday. And for a while there, one of our guys was out sick, so we had to hire every Sunday for a couple of weekends in a row, like 7 or 8, it got expensive. Tire removal's going up. We don't know what the increases in bulky waste and trash removal is. I'm hoping that the cardboard addition, which our waste company has put into effect, helps, but the first estimate I heard was that we're going from $350 a ton to $650 a ton, unless we can get a new contract doing much better than that, which from what I understand is probable.
Do we charge for, we don't charge right now for, passes for the dump.
No,
Um,
we tax people for
I
it,
know, I
so-
get it.
and it's hard to charge people taxes to go to the dump and then charge them.
I get
You
it.
know, I'm philosophically opposed to that, charging people twice for the same product.
I have too, our price is gonna double.
Yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't based on the new contract, but we need to brace ourselves for that, and, we'll see what happens. A lot of this, I'd like to get Troy here, he's off this week, and, well monitoring, I don't know what it's gonna go for the wells, but we already had serious well issues this year where the water main for the town broke or froze, and all of South Wellington was without water for like 8-10 hours until they got it defrosted.
I remember.
And, I failed to follow up on that to see if they've got the permanent fix in yet or not. And for a while there, they were just draining water out on the road to keep it moving so it wouldn't freeze, and that's not an ideal situation in cold weather.
So the well monitoring is for,
Our public water supply.
that serves Hall School.
Hall School, it serves, the South Fire Station, it serves, I think most of South Wellington.
And that comes off the town water system.
Yes. And then it also serves the town hall and the senior facilities down over here.
Really, all the way
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the fire hydrants that we have. I say that with far more confidence than I should.
How old is that system?
I don't know.
Good.
I wasn't here.
I wasn't either.
I remember when I first joined the Board of Finance, Bob Wisniewski, would vote against the town water supply every year.
I remember, did you pull in and start doing that as well?
Yes, in his honor, I would
Symbolic, right?
symbolically. Then enough of us symbolically did that we had to go back and re-vote one time because we killed the public water that we have to have. So the rest of this is the line by line budget. The way I've had Donna prepare this for us is that the actual expenses for 23-24 are in here. The actual expenses for 24-25 are, the actual expenses for 22-23 are in here. The actual expenses for 23-24 are in here. For 24-25, which we are currently dead set in the middle of, we have the approved amount and what we have actually spent through October 31st of this year. And then in the final column, what she has done is she's given us a worksheet. So this is the next budget year, 25-26, with a blank line. And then, for what we wish to request in the new budget, the amount change, and then the
percent change.
right,
So,
yeah, dollar change and then the percent change,
Right,
I'm
so-
sorry,
that's right, so there's a budget request, then there's the dollar change 24-25,
right,
not approved, but just.
right,
And then
all
percent,
these numbers that she has in here are space holders,
right. Right, those are just the carryovers.
those are just carryovers from the one before, so that she had someplace to put stuff in.
Right.
Cause I don't think we're gonna subtract 100% from every line budget item, like,
No. And that's,
particularly,
so that's 50, right? Oh, that's the approved, not actually.
yeah.
Did they approve the Board of Finance schedule for this year?
They, were working on it, I'm not sure, that they had a rough draft, but I'm not sure that they approved it.
So we're not gonna know exactly when we're supposed to.
We had, yeah, I think they're moving us up in the budget order, however.
Right, and,
Or they're gonna try.
right, so, okay,
So what we need to do is get that date from Donna or drop that date on when we gotta be finished.
right.
And then, I'm a little reticent to start discussing hard numbers without Andy here.
Yeah.
So I think what we need to do is schedule another meeting on this, give you the paperwork so that you can start looking at it, know where we're at. For instance, our town council is, we haven't spent as much as I thought we had. Thank God. Our town attorney prices were exceptionally high, for the end of 24. The 24 budget year and the beginning of the 25 budget, 20. Yeah. So this last calendar year, which is the end of one budget year and the beginning of the next, I spent a lot of money on attorneys. That was partly because of the referendum redo and, the water contract and the employees, contract and the assessor contract. And we got a crap load of stuff accomplished, but it didn't come free.
Yeah. So, in the registrar numbers, I'm looking at our audience person, hi,
Christine,
Christine,
hello,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
that's all right.
So, yours went up a little bit, but mostly having to do with all the early voting, I can see that, right?
I gotta
That's fine. Your cost went up this year because of early voting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we're expecting to get some good input from you guys on what you're gonna need for next year, because I can't see the legislature fixing anything.
Well, there is talk, but until something actually gets in writing, yeah, we won't know. And Suzanne and I, starting next week, we're gonna start drafting our budget for the next year. So
Okay,
What
we'll get an
are
idea.
your thoughts on that, Christine? Are we expecting to have lots of added expenses over what we had this year? Or let me ask this, with what we did last year, did we do okay? Did we make any mistakes or any problems? Because we didn't have money?
Well, the state you know, we got 10,500 from the state as a
Okay.
grant, so that helped tremendously.
Good,
Then we got an additional $2,000 from the federal government.
okay,
That helped. We're not gonna get that, as far as I know, this coming year.
okay.
At this point,
That's not reflected in these numbers here, right? That $12,000.
I don't believe so. no.
Okay, all right, so we're 12.
That's a question we're gonna have to ask,
Don.
Don.
Okay, I got it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the
No,
spot.
no, that's okay.
All right.
Again, if nothing changes with early voting, there's no early voting for referendum, that's fine. Will we have a municipal primary?
Don't know.
Don't know. And we will have a municipal election. Again, if nothing changes with early voting, that will be another 14 days.
Mhm.
Costs a lot of money, sorry, to employ people,
Okay,
you know.
I can't quite justify 14 days for a presidential, but I can see where people are coming from on that. But 14 days for a municipal seems a bit extreme.
yeah,
And again, we're thinking Wellington,
Yeah,
yes. For other, perhaps larger towns, you know, they may need additional days,
yeah,
but, no,
but I don't think we're in the same boat. They shouldn't treat us the same.
I agree, but right now,
it is what it
every
is.
town is treated the same in the law.
All right,
Yeah. but
thank
we're-
you.
Thank you, I
Yeah,
appreciate
we're
it.
gonna begin working on that budget, so,
All right, so this, seeing as how this is the first time I've actually gone through this thing, for the way it's put out this way. I suppose I did see it last year and the year before. Let's table this until,
I'm very good with that.
good, Because you-
So move the table.
I moved to table.
I'll second.
Okay, we were, I was gonna look at tabling times. Next week is, not happening. It's just not. What day is best for you, Monday through Thursday?
So that's the week of the 9th.
Yeah,
That is, that's an extremely bad week for me, so, Monday, I have, I'm available on Monday.
all right.
We don't have a board of selectmen meeting that day, do we?
No, we don't, because I
Right.
canceled it because I have a, no, that's not even a Board of Selectmen day. The second would be the Board of Selectmen day, and we canceled that because I have a competing problem that.
So looking at the week of the 9th.
Yeah.
I have, early morning on Tuesday the 10th, early morning on Wednesday the 11th. I'm working 16 hours on Thursday, Friday is, I have doctor's appointments, so the only thing I have is those two.
Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday,
Well, Monday,
Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday?
yeah,
All right. I will, contact Andy and we will try to go mornings on the 9th, 10th or 11th.
okay, or afternoon on the 9th. That's easier for the townspeople.
All right. Or when on Monday?
Monday the 9th, afternoon,
All right. Evening, or are you working?
evening after Christmas party.
All right.
You do too, but
Oh, yeah. All right. I do. Now that you mention it, I don't think it's in my phone. All right. Let's see here. So that's, we've gone from number 2, we're on number 3. Number 3 is tax collector. I guess this is the public notification that, Janice Clausen, who we wish all the best to, has been, hired away from us by the town of Columbia, I believe.
Boo, Columbia, invade
Boo, Columbia. We hate them. Yeah, we're gonna spring for a tank and that thing and go with the beat.
Let's get on the budget next time, no more stealing our employees.
No more stealing our employees, but it proves the rule, I guess, that our town has got a way of finding talent, coaching the talent up, getting them the stuff they need, and we losing them, but we sincerely congratulate her on her new job and wish her all the best.
Absolutely.
It's a significant pay raise for her and, a significantly shorter commute.
So that's $20,000 more, right?
Yeah, 19, I think.
19 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I had a question for you, I mean, just a general question.
All right.
So we lost our, town clerk, we're losing our tax collector. I know this has happened for years.
Yeah.
The joke amongst people is that we're a training ground for other towns.
Yes,
Um,
I
So,
don't dispute that.
then my question is, I mean, as a general matter, does that hurt how we perform serving our citizens? If it doesn't hurt how we serve our citizens, then it's fine. But if it does, then we have a problem. I know that when we put out for an assistant for the assessor, an assessor, we received tons of, 80 or 90 resumes?
Yeah.
All but 10 of them were completely and utterly unqualified.
Yeah.
You know, thank you for doing that, I appreciate it, I mean, I don't want to talk ill about anybody, but we had very slim look at it. So my question is, how much of a problem is this?
It's one, I can't quantify.
Right, I know,
Two, it's probably not ideal,
right,
but three, we have to balance that with the budget and our tax rates.
I get it.
So I would love to give everybody in the town hall a $20,000 a year pay increase.
Well, I wouldn't do that.
That would make me very happy, but we can't pay for it. So
Right.
what we do is we compete on effort instead of on pay. That's,
All of our bills get out on time,
Yes.
all of our tax bills get out on time, our checks get
Yes.
out on time. We have our accountants and all that sort of thing,
Mhm.
so just wondering about that, that's all.
Yeah. No, I think it's a perfectly fair question. I don't know how to quantify it.
All right, I'm good, let's table it, so maybe we can talk about it.
Okay, well, I don't want to table it quite yet. We need to come up with a schedule to replace our tax collector.
Right.
So I'm, asking you in a public meeting
Yes,
if you would sit on another interview board.
this will be the third one, yes, in the
Yes.
last year, yes,
So you're getting good at it.
yes, I'll do that.
All right. I will coordinate with, Shannon, and the three of us will form a interview board, and I will have her appropriately notice it and, collect the forms, the applications, and we will once again go through stacks and stacks and stacks of applications to find those golden nuggets.
Sounds good.
All right. And the last thing I have on here is good and welfare. Do you have anything?
Yes, I'd like to say that our social service, for anybody out there who's watching, you know, which there will be people watching this online. There's this wonderful idea that it's out, we have a Christmas tree in front of our social services office. You walk up to the Christmas tree, it's outside, you just grab it, come to the parking lot, park your car, walk over to the tree, grab this thing right here. And it has, a little, brown paper tag, and it says the age of the person, in need who who wants gifts and stuff, and then you grab that thing and you go buy the gift. It's on the card, and then you put the card with the package, and then you put it back underneath the tree. It takes all of it, with home delivery, it'll take you no time at all, and you'll be making little children very happy, so I'm happy to participate in that. I hope everybody else will.
Yes, my wife saw that and said, "You will go get several bags." I
There
said,
you go.
okay.
There you go, so,
I'm destined to participate.
yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I believe that covers our agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you all for attending.
Thank you.
Let me stop recording.